Hello, home bosses. I was in Card Factory yesterday looking for a birthday card, and guess what I found for only £4? A bold and easy style colouring book. And look how nice this is. This is like really, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a really professionally made colouring books. Really lovely. And I thought, that's so cheap for £4. And some people see something like this and say, well, if colouring books are so cheap in shops, surely they do not sell on Amazon anymore. So today I want to talk about that because the answer might surprise you. It is true that shops like Card Factory, The Works, Poundland, Walmart and many other offer colouring books at very low prices. So it makes sense that new publishers worry and they think, why would anyone buy a colouring book on Amazon when they can get one down the road for a couple of pounds? But here is the thing, they still do. In fact, some colouring books sell thousands of copies every month on Amazon. People buy them as gifts, they buy them because they want a particular theme, they buy them because they want it delivered to their door, and they buy them because Amazon recommends them. So convenience is powerful and niche interests are powerful too. When I went to Card Factory, I couldn't choose any colouring books. This is what they had. So let me show you a few examples on Amazon. So we're on Amazon.com and I've typed in colouring books in the search bar, and I'm sure if you've done any colouring book research you would have seen all these books by Coco Wyo. There's one and it's got a BSR of 55 in books. That means they're making nearly $2,000 a day on this book alone. And there's this one here. It is 145 in Amazon books. That means their BSR, their bestseller rank, is 145. And that means they're making $1,614 every day with this book, as long as it's at 145 in BSR. So the BSRs are really important. The lower the BSR, the better. And there's other colouring books as well, not just by Coco Wyo. There's a really simple ABC colouring book here, which is 133 in colouring books. You can see that there's another one here by Coco Wyo and another one. So the first 4 ones that are shown for this result are all Coco Wyo, and if we scroll down, it just never ends. There's more by Coco Wyo. And there are other books not just by Coco Wyo. There's a very similar one here by Hikaru Kotz. And if we scroll down, there are some more. And you can just see the BSRs. There's one at number 43 in books. There's another one at 479 in books, which is by Jade Summer. There's another Coco Wyo book at 542, another one at 593, and a mindfulness pattern book by Vivi Tinta at 435. This is thousands of dollars sold on Amazon for colouring books every day. And why don't people buy them in Walmart or in Card Factory or in any other places where they're so much cheaper? Well, that is because people like to choose and people like to buy on Amazon. So there are many colouring books that are far cheaper elsewhere, not on Amazon, but people are still buying books on Amazon, and this just proves it. And of course you have to compete against these books, and you're not going to do that by creating books that are very similar to these or that don't have a different angle, and you might have to promote your colouring books as well. But it definitely isn't true that colouring books don't sell. And I've got a colouring book that is funny, that sells quite well, and that is because I think I hit on a niche that makes people laugh. So that is where you have to find your niches. Find a niche that is not saturated. Find a niche that is different to the ones on Amazon. It is possible to do that. There are plenty of niches out there that you can use. Just don't copy what other people are doing. Copy the style if you have to. The bold and easy style is very popular, and that's fine. And Coco Wyo copied that from somebody else to begin with, and now it's become a craze to color those type of images because they're so easy to color and they're really good to color in with felt tip pens. So people love to color in that way, and they're relaxing. So anything that you can find that is different, that you can make your book stand out with, maybe it's the niche, maybe it's the illustration style, maybe it's something different, but if you can stand out, you can definitely still sell coloring books on Amazon KDP. It's not the price that is the problem. I know you can find them cheaper somewhere else, but look how many are still selling on Amazon. So it's definitely not the price. There are different reasons why people buy these books. So you can see that people still buy coloring books on Amazon, and here are some of the reasons. Reason number one is people want niche themes they cannot find in stores. When I went into Card Factory, this is all they had. They didn't really have any other ones. And reason number two is people like to collect from a brand that they know. And reason number three is Amazon delivers to their house. And another reason is that parents and people who love coloring books want fresh books regularly, not just what's left in the shops. So if you want to make coloring books that sell, here are some simple but powerful tips. Tip number one is to create a recognizable brand. And you knew I was going to say this because I always talk about creating a brand. So stick to the same style across your books and use consistent fonts, consistent art styles, cover layouts, and author name help shoppers recognize your books instantly. And tip number two is choose themes that people actively search for. You can focus on animals, affirmations, mandalas, holidays, vintage themes, nature, or funny books. I always say humor sells, and this is where research really matters. So make sure you research your book before you publish. And tip number three is use high quality artwork. You do not have to draw everything yourself. You can use AI, but I still see lots of coloring books out there that are not really suitable for coloring, and they're using AI in the wrong way. So if you do use AI, make sure that your pages are suitable for coloring. And if you don't know how to do that, please research this thoroughly or use a different way to create your books. One great resource is the Publisher Vault, where you can get ready-made coloring pages that you can mix and match and that you can legally use in your books. And if you're not an illustrator, this is an excellent shortcut for creating beautiful coloring books. And I will leave some details in the description under this video. Tip number 4 is think in series. If someone enjoys your book 1, they will come back for book 2, especially if your branding is consistent. So yes, shops will always sell cheap coloring books, and that is fine. There's still room on Amazon for your books when you position them well, when you create books people want, and when you build a brand that buyers recognize. So if you want more tips on creating books that sell and growing your publishing business, follow me for more helpful videos. And if you want ready-made coloring images, I will leave a link for the Publisher Vault below so you can take a look. And so many of you are watching my videos but are not subscribed to my channel, so please make sure you're subscribed and ding the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching The Home Boss, where ideas turn to gold. Every page, every story, another dream unfolds. The Home Boss, create and prosper, don't count.